Hello and welcome. I am Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and welcome to my weekly live chat on Facebook. I try to go live here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds to join me. I got my coffee, I got my water, had to stay hydrated. Oh my goodness. I have some amazing seed varieties to share with you tonight. So let's get this live chat kicked off. Awesome. Alrighty, everybody. Hey, Diane, thanks for joining us. Alrighty, everybody. So every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time, I try to go live here on Facebook. My regularly scheduled YouTube live is on Thursday at 5 p.m. Central. However, it is hot, so I have been rescheduling it to Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. Hey, Carmen, thanks for joining me. Now, because Facebook has been removing my live chats every 30 days, I have been starting to download them and upload them to YouTube, so you will slowly find these trickling into my YouTube channel, and I will share that at a later time. Hey, Colette, and hey, Tracy. Now, the cool thing about my Facebook Live is while I'm live, I'm sharing specific varieties, and I can share the links to those specific varieties while I chat with you, which is super fun. So if you're just joining me, welcome. Love the video, like the video, share the video, all that awesome stuff. If you'll give me a second, I'm going to go ahead and share the live video to my group. Oh, it won't let me share my video to my group. That's kind of weird. I'll give it a second, and maybe it'll load up, and maybe it'll allow me to. Hey, Joy, Tracy, thanks for joining me, and I hope I got your email. You enjoyed the extras I included. All right, so Facebook is not giving me the option to share my own video. So if you could, please share the video. I would totally appreciate it. So let's get started with all of the awesomeness today. Now, this is not part of my giveaway. Hey, Inga and Anna. Now, all of the seeds that I'm going to discuss with you today will be included in a giveaway. In order to enter the giveaway, you need to be in the US or Canada. You need to have not won a giveaway recently, and then you need to comment, and that's your entry. We got Inga and Anna and Pam and Elizabeth and Dana. Thanks so much for joining me. Now, this is not part of my giveaway, but I want to share it with you anyway because it is awesome. And I'll share the link in just a second. This is a countertop compost bin. It has a filter on the lid, super awesome, and I love teal. I'm a huge teal fan. Hey, Robin, thanks for joining us. So this is a new arrival at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. I only have a couple available, like 6, I think, available on the website. So this is not part of the giveaway, but I wanted to share with you how awesome this is. Now, depending on what your household size is, you will be emptying that out into your big compost bin like every day, every other day, something like that. Carmen says it matches your kitchen. Well, that's awesome. So this is something that I just added. Like I said, I only have a couple. And I'm going to share the link with you right now so that you can see it and kind of see what I'm talking about. But that is, of the things I'm going to discuss with you today, that is the only thing that is not included in my giveaway. So I will share the compost bin. And Inga says, do you only have teal? I have 2 that are all gray, but they're not on the website right now. So the only thing I have right now is white and teal. Like I said, I do have a gray one, and I will probably look into adding a stainless steel, like a silver looking one that would be probably match more people's kitchens. But this one I really love, so I'm adding that to show you guys today. So let's get started on all of the seeds that are going to be included in the seed giveaway today. These are all some really fun varieties that I really wanted to share with you. Hey, Natasha, thanks for joining me. Before we get started, I wanted to talk about, it's not a sealed lid, but it is a snug fitting lid. If there are some varieties of seeds that benefit from cold stratification prior to planting or prior to germination. And so it's important to understand how some varieties prefer their environment in order to germinate with the best. Hey Sandy, and hey Laura and Bertha. So I'm going to share with you the link to my growing list of seeds to stratify before I start sharing with the seeds, because this is going to be one that you're going to want to pay attention to. Hey Paige, thanks for joining us. You're going to want to pay attention to this because some of the varieties, specifically the first 3 varieties I'm going to share with you, are included in this. Elizabeth says, love the compost bin. Well, thank you. So cold stratification can be done naturally, where you plant your seeds in fall and they germinate after a cold period. In spring, they germinate and they're good. Or you can mimic that by using your refrigerator. And if you look at my growing list of herb seeds to stratify, that will give you not only a list of varieties that prefer cold stratification, but also how to do it. So that's why I wanted to share this with you, because there are some that I'm going to share with you right now that require cold stratification for optimal germination. So I didn't want to start sharing these particular seeds with you until I shared that information. The first one is a beauty, and this is native to Texas. It's native to the southern states, Mexico, mealy blue sage. It is gorgeous. It is a fantastic variety. It is a beautiful variety. It's great for, hang on just a sec. I didn't grab a link to that. So like I said, everybody that's commenting, if you're in the US or Canada and you haven't won lately, you are entered to win the seed giveaway that I'm going to be sharing with you right now. Facebook is a little weird today, so I apologize if it's a little delayed or struggling. Hey Sandra, thanks for joining us. She says, I'm working Monday through Friday, but love to listen. Awesome, thank you so much. And the great thing about my live chats is you can always watch the replay. You're not entered to the giveaway with the replay, but at least you can watch them at a later time. So the mealy blue sage, check that out. It is pretty. It's blues, a little on the purple side, perfect for a meadow or like a prairie where you're just growing some beneficial plants for pollinators, whether it's medicinal or not. Now I will say this, let's see. Let me answer some questions. Bertha says, I live in the city. Can I still make compost? Yes, ma'am, you can. I will share that much later on in an email. I'll send you an email later on so that you can get some more information. So mealy blue sage is not the sage that you eat, that you put in your soup, stew, sausages, things like that. That is somebody asked me, is this an edible sage? So this is not like the regular sage that you eat. This is a fantastic variety for pollinators. It is a perennial. It is drought tolerant. It is heat tolerant. It is beautiful. It attracts pollinators. So this is a really good one if you want. Now, some people say that the leaves and the flowers are edible, that they can be eaten raw or cooked or used as a garnish. But I always add a little asterisk to that and just say that you need to do your own research on them before you eat anything. You know, some people can't eat kale or Swiss chard because of the compounds in that. And I love Swiss chard and kale, so that's a really good one. So hang on, I got my tea. Hey Kelly, thanks for joining us. I got my birthday cat person mug Doc bought for me for my birthday. Totally fitting this week since I am all about cats apparently. All right, so next on my list is Heal All. So like I mentioned before, I am able to share links to all of these so that you can do your own digging and you can see the information provided. Heal All is another, Natasha, thank you very much. Heal All is another medicinal herb. Yes, mealy blue sage can be used medicinally, but you do want to do your research before you start eating it. Paige says, as a fellow cat lover, I have to tell you I used old litter boxes to make a worm farm. That is fantastic. I would totally do that as well. Hey Don, thanks for joining us as well. So Heal All is the next one I'm going to share with you. Again, Super pretty. Very, very pretty. I'm trying to struggle with Facebook or trying not to. What kind of tea are you drinking? Karen, tonight I am drinking iced coffee. Usually I drink iced tea that I make some sort of herbal concoction, whether it's spearmint and lemon balm, catnip and lemon balm, or just spearmint or just lemon balm. Today, it's iced coffee. School is back in session, so we are back to working more hours than normal. And some of my staff have sick kiddos, so I'm working a little, even more extra hours, so we're just kind of getting through it. So tonight, it's coffee. All right, I'm going to try and share this link. Facebook doesn't always allow me to share the link, so here's the link to Heal All. Now, I'll tell you this about Heal All. It is another beautiful one. Lemongrass tea is a really good one. All right, totally sidetracking Heal All. I'll get back to this. If you haven't tried it already, and if you like lemongrass tea, Thai Roselle, which we sell those seeds, it is daylight sensitive. So you plant it earlier in the year, give it a head start, and it doesn't start to ripen until fall. So Thai Roselle, lemongrass, cinnamon, turmeric, cloves, and an apple. And you chop all of that up and you put in a big stock pot and you slow cook it however long, with water, of course. And then strain it out. That tea is probably one of the best teas I have ever had and I've ever made. I actually got that recipe from a lady at the Yellow Green Farmers Market in Hollywood back in 2012. And I was buying the ingredients from her, and she would sell the tea and then she would sell the ingredients so I could take it home and make it for myself. Holy moly, absolutely delicious. So yes, absolutely, definitely try it. Sorry, I got totally sidetracked by the lemongrass tea because I love lemongrass in tea as well, so that's a good call. Paige says, do you have those dry herbs before you make tea with them? No, you don't have to dry the herbs to make tea. You need to dry the herbs if you're going to make, if you're going to store them. Otherwise, no, you don't have to. Wade says, I use dried Heal All in my coffee grounds sometimes throughout the year. Can't taste it, but the benefits are great. Oh, that's awesome to know, Wade. I really appreciate that information. No, I don't have that recipe on my website, but I can share it here on Facebook at a little Heal All link works great. Oh, thank you. If you can't hear me all the time, sorry, no worries. So Heal All is also a perennial. It's also beautiful. You've got purple flowers, so that's a really good one. It does say that it is deer resistant and it's fantastic for bees. So definitely check out Heal All real quick. If you don't mind, I need to just sidetrack here. Okay, next on my list. Sorry about that, guys. I am doing 12 different things at one time. Like I said, it's been one of those weeks where it feels like a month. So, all right, Sandra says that the Heal All link works great. I appreciate it. And now, the third and final, I promise, variety that should be cold stratified prior to planting. And again, another medicinal is Echinacea purpurea. So this one is typically used for the root, but you can use the leaves as well. I love Echinacea for the pretty factor, to be honest. I love that it grows fairly well if you cold stratify. So that's why the first three varieties I'm sharing with you today are going to be about herbs and also cold stratifying. Wade says drying does help some of the beneficial chemicals in the herbs to release more easily when in water or alcohol. You know, that's a good point. I forgot to mention that. When I use herbs for tinctures, I always use a dried herb. So thank you, Wade, for that information. It's easier for me to use a dry herb as well, because then I can go look in my apothecary and I can see, okay, I got this herb and I got this herb. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to use, instead of going, okay, what do I have in my garden right now? You know, maybe I had lemongrass last year that did really well, and maybe it didn't do well this year. So I'm like, okay, I don't have lemongrass this year. Well, if I dried it, I've got plenty of it to use, and also, like Wade said, it can hold some of its compounds better. Tammy says, I read that raspberry leaves make a great beneficial tea, but I've never tried it. Yes, it absolutely does. I do have raspberries growing outside, and you can definitely use the leaves for teas. Tori says, herbs are my favorite to be all over the garden. I don't have a specific herb garden. Even though I said I was going to do a specific herb garden this year, I didn't. I have them interplanted throughout all of my gardens. So depends on what you're doing and what works for you. So we're going to move on to some of the other varieties that I have. Jenny says, with the lemongrass, does it come back every year or do you have to replant it? Lemongrass will grow back every year in some climates. Jenny, I believe you are in Florida, so it will continue to come back every year. If you are in Texas where it freezes, it probably won't last as long. Sorry about that. Okay, there you go. Awesome, reading some information. So one thing I will tell you as far as herbs go, somebody just mentioned that they drank tons of a certain tea, the raspberry leaf tea during their pregnancy. That is definitely a reason to research herbs before you try them, because if you're taking any kind of pharmaceuticals, any kind of over-the-counters, you want to make sure that there's no interaction between those before you get started. What is the best way to save dry herbs? I personally use glass jars. I have a massive amount of glass jars that I've shared from different stuff, so that's what I use. Tank said, I would love to have a section of garden that is all for tea mixtures. Tank, that is what I'm looking for next year. I was going to do it this year, but life happens and I just wasn't able to create a section just for it. So what I did was I just put them in different areas in my regular gardens. My toothache plant went crazy. It's probably a 2 foot by 4 foot section in a 4 foot by 8 foot raised bed of just toothache. I will have a massive amount of toothache plant, seeds, and dried herbs for later on. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so let's get started on the regular veggie selection that I have to share with you tonight. So we already talked about mealy blue sage, Heal-All, Echinacea purpurea. Let's see, we've got, yep, so there you go. Joe Page says the same exact thing. 100% only recommend raspberry tea if you've asked your OB. I was in labor for 12 days, so we were trying a lot. See, there you go. So there are contraindications where some things you want to make sure you know what works for you and what won't. A tea mixture garden sounds great. Now, so we have an herbal tea seed pack that does really well. A lot of my customers love it. So if you're looking for an herbal tea garden seed combo, definitely check that out. All right, this one is a beauty. Red Fire ORACH. So beautiful, so delicious and easy to grow. So I'm going to share this link with you guys so we can chat about that one as well. By the way, if you haven't already, please like the video, share the video, love the video, all that good stuff. So Red Fire ORACH is listed under greens. Teresa says, good to know about the tea garden combo. Yeah, and I've got a seed combo. You can use the discount code SEEDCOMBO25 at checkout. You'll save 10%. So this one is beautiful. This is 40 to 50 days from seed, which is amazing. It's also known as French spinach. So it depends on your region, I guess. You can eat it raw, but it's a great alternative to spinach, and it doesn't bolt as soon as regular spinach. So in warmer climates, spinach bolts quickly, but the Red Fire ORACH will not, and it's delicious. So, and it adds some splash of color to your garden, which is also super fun. Everybody was asking me about teas, and like I said, usually I'm drinking tea, but today it's definitely coffee. Karen says the ORACH came in one of your mystery bags. Awesome. It's beautiful. We actually carry a purple ORACH as well, but the red one is in my live chat tonight. If you're just joining me, all of these seeds are included in my seed giveaway tonight. So you need to comment. You need to be in the US or Canada and not have won recently, and you are automatically entered into my giveaway. And I pull the winner a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes after my live chat. So you have to comment during my live chat. All right, hey Molly, thanks for joining us. And this video will then go on YouTube after I'm done with the live chat, because Facebook has been removing live videos after 30 days. So I'll be uploading that too. All right, I shared a video and a link to Amaranth this week because one of my customers and an awesome homesteader posted her video about Amaranth. This one is called Green CALLALOO Amaranth. This one is another fun variety, adds a splash of color as well. It's green, and it can grow fairly tall, and it's a more of a Caribbean style plant. So I grew these specifically in Florida where it was nice and hot. It has a somewhat spinachy flavor to it. You can eat the seeds, you can eat the leaves. So it's a pretty versatile crop. But I also use this as a trap crop because a lot of times I have pests that might eat my amaranth and other plants. So I'll plant my amaranth in a completely different place, and this would be awesome. Tank says y'all need to make sure to comment and share for, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Mary, she says Mary has the absolute best giveaways. Every month I send out a giveaway in an email. That way people that aren't on my social media can still enter my giveaways. And then every Wednesday I'm live, and every Wednesday some awesome person is going to win all the seeds that I'm going to discuss with you tonight. So Green CALLALOO Amaranth is the next one on my list. And while I'm live, I can share some of these links as well. I'm multitasking. I got my water, I got my coffee, I got my device here to share the link, I got my computer here, and I got all of you awesome people. So I also shared the teal and white, hey Michelle, the teal and white compost bin earlier. This is not part of my seed giveaway, but it's a new arrival at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. It's a countertop compost bin with a filter. So super fun and super easy. And if you're like me and you don't want to have to go outside on the other side of your property at 8 o'clock at night in the dark just to dump your compost, that's a really good one for me. I can leave it on my counter, or I can put it underneath my kitchen countertop in the cabinet, and then I don't have to worry about it. Paige says, I did just get my seeds from Winnie a couple weeks ago. Very awesome. Hey there, David, thanks for joining us. Allison said, I may be slow on this, but I found a way to watch your YouTube channel on my TV. Awesome. My mom said she does that, and I'm like on your big TV? And she said, yeah, she just sits on the couch and watches my YouTube videos. So super fun. Christine says, is there any recommendations for getting amaranth to germinate? What is the best? So I would just say, so Ian says, no commando cat today. She was all over my table because I had a rubber band. Christine, the best way to do it is honestly just to sprinkle it on the top of the soil, because they the seeds are so small. The most common reason that people struggle to have seeds germinate is because either it's not enough water, too much water, or buried too deep. So I literally just sprinkle it on the top of the soil, keep it moist, and I'm good to go, and I don't have any problems. So maybe you might be burying it too low, maybe it's drying out. Anna says, I just moved to a new house and found a ton of sage, but have no idea what to do with it. Help! All right, Anna, send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com. If it's regular, what they call culinary sage, I put it in my dehydrator and I just put it in a jar and use it as needed. I use it in soups and stews, especially meats, but depends on what kind of sage you're talking about, because there are some medicinal varieties as well. Now, we have another one that is actually a great one for Texas as well. Hey, Ambia. Hey, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. This one is good for everybody. We are going to talk about broccoli. Broccoli is so good. It is so delicious. I'm going to share that link with you here. This one in particular is fun to grow as well because it has a smaller, okay, so this is a heading broccoli. There are some broccoli that are sprouting broccoli, and there are some that are heading broccoli. This one is a blue-green head, which is a main head, and there will be some offshoots where you might get some extras, and they can be 4 to 9 inches up across for the actual head. So this is way different than, like, say, the early purple sprouting broccoli that I shared with you a couple weeks ago. And these are really good for late summer and fall planting. So that's why I'm sharing this one with you today. And the reason I mention this to you is it is excellent for cooler climates. It can grow through the winter in warmer climates. So depending on where you are, you can plant this now if you're in a cooler area, or you can plant this a little later on if you're in a warmer climate like Texas. So that's a really good one for you if you want to try a broccoli that gives you a good size head of broccoli. And there's different types, like I mentioned. So I've shared a couple of different broccolis with you in the last couple of weeks. Harvest time. Ooh, that's a great question. I think I just closed that. Check out the link that I shared so you can see it. I'm pretty sure the heading broccoli takes significantly longer than the sprouting broccoli that I mentioned to you. So, hey, Sandra. All right, so funny story. My son was around 2 begging for broccoli at the store. The produce manager had a good laugh. Broccoli is yummy. We have, are all these that you are sharing today fall plantable? No. Some of the varieties I shared earlier, the ones that require cold stratification, technically you could plant them in fall for a spring germination, but some of these are, actually take it back, most of the veggie crops that I'm going to share with you, yes, can be fall planted. The herbs, totally different. Wade says, never had luck with heading broccoli in Gilmer. I'm sure we don't plant at the right time. It's possible. You're in Gilmer, which is not that far from me, and it is difficult planting broccoli in some places in Texas because it is so hot, and sometimes we literally go from winter to summer. So it just depends on, every year is different, so you might have a good year and you might have a not so great year. So another one that is good for just about everyone. By the way, actually, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to stop real quick, stop sharing all this other stuff, because let's see, was it Tracy asked about if you could plant all these things in fall, and it reminded me, I didn't share my seed sale. I have a massive August seed sale right now. I was talking to Doc. For those of you that don't know, Doc is my husband. We talk about all kinds of things in the seed shop, and we're always throwing, like, bouncing ideas off of each other. We started talking about the rising cost of food, how it continues to go up, the food shortages in different areas, not food forests, but food deserts, so totally opposite. You can grow a food forest, which is awesome, and a food desert is kind of like you live in an area that just doesn't have access to a lot of different things. I know where we are. We're in a small town in Ben Wheeler, Texas, but we have a small town next to us. But the only options we would have here, if I couldn't leave Ben Wheeler, the only option I have is a Dollar General and Family Dollar. Fortunately, we have a grocery store if I need stuff, but we grow a lot of our own vegetables, and I realize that not everybody has access to all these awesome vegetables. So I looked around at my seed shop and I'm like, you know, A, I need to clean out my room because we just added a cat to my private room, and B, we need to help more people grow a healthy garden. So I added a ton of stuff to my August seed sale. So this is maybe one of the larger seed sales that we offer throughout the year. So Tracy says, I'm trying to do the food forest. Me too, totally. I'm looking at everything just going, I want to plant this, I want to plant that, I want to plant this. Colette is getting ready to plant my fall garden in the next few days. If you missed my recent live chat on YouTube, definitely check it out. I attended this amazing class with the Kaufman County Master Gardeners about planning out a fall garden. And it's I went because I love that group of people. They're awesome people. But also, I wanted to see what Perry, the lady that did, was offering, was teaching, and it was amazing. The information she shared was just fantastic. It got me super fired up to do a little more of the planning section of it. So super excited. And on that note, as far as like food deserts and things like that go, we also donate to community gardens in those types of areas where they are donating hundreds, if not thousands of pounds of food for people in need that live in those areas that need it. So awesome. Tracy says your prices are awesome. What did you say? Sorry, you didn't say awesome. I say awesome all the time. You said amazing. Thank you. Natasha says so awesome. You said awesome. Tammy says awesome. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I am just a regular person trying to do what I can. So we have a massive donor list, and I'm super excited about that. When I send out another pack of donation seeds, I'm like, do a little happy dance. All right, so this one is a smaller variety of cabbage, and it is a faster maturing variety of cabbage, which is why I'm sharing it with you today. Golden Acre cabbage. 5 to 7 inches. You can let it grow a little larger to go 3 to 4 pound green heads. It is resistant to cabbage, some different cabbage bugs. It's one of the earlier ones that the earliest maturing varieties that we offer. So if you live in an area that you need a faster maturing cabbage, this is the one for you. Wade, that's a great question. Do you ever cheat and use a hybrid seed when you find a variety that you can't live without? And I would say, no, sir. I have in my life, as far as I know, never grown a hybrid for several reasons. I love heirlooms. I love the background of some of these. I love the history that you can find from some of these. And I love that I can grow these seeds and save these seeds. And I know that if I needed to, I could continue on. So I always love it. Let's see. Can you grow Golden Acre cabbage in grow bags? Yes, you can. I would say a 5-gallon grow bag at the very minimum, because these still get big enough. April says might need to try that in spring zone 7. Very cool. Wade says we've had great luck with Golden Acre, smaller and perfect. Yes, exactly. Definitely. No, there's no confusion with hybrid versus GMO. Most backyard gardeners can't buy GMO seeds except for the purple tomato that came out last year. And that is definitely nothing like any of the other purple tomatoes we offer. So again, that's why I love the background of these. Let's see, planted green patty pan on August 1st. Now 12 inches tall. Awesome. Tina says, we'll check out your seed sale. Love all the info. Oh, you're in Arlington, Texas. You're not that far from us. Now Inga says, is Red Acre similar? It is kind of similar in the shape, and it's smaller, but is not as fast maturing as these. Amber Ann says, do you have problems with cross-pollinations with anything you grow? If I am saving seeds, I am taking every precaution that I can to keep them from cross-pollinating. And that's a great question. Somebody asked me about that. So I'm growing Beck's Big Buck okra in a couple of raised beds. And someone asked, well, you just planted heavy hitter okra. How are you going to keep them from cross-pollinating? Excellent question. So I cleared out some raised beds and I planted the heavy hitter okra seeds. while my Beck's Big Buck is already producing. I have been harvesting those seed pods from them on a regular basis. Just before my heavy hitter okra starts to flower, I'm going to pull the last of my Beck's Big Buck okra. I'm going to pull all the okra down that's edible and eat it. I'm going to pull all the seed pods down and store those. And then I'm going to pull those plants out and I'm going to put those plants in my compost. That way I don't have issues with cross-pollinating with those two varieties. And I can literally grow them one bed apart from each other. And I don't have to worry about cross-pollination as long as they're not flowering at the same time. Same with basil. You can grow 12 different types of basil if you really want to, as long as only one is flowering at one time. You can save those seeds for those. And then there's others that you don't have to worry about cross-pollinating. I don't have to worry about my zucchini cross-pollinating with my tomatoes, so those can grow next to each other. So understanding how that works is also another one. But I don't have to worry about cross-pollinating because I practice safe practices for growing and harvesting seeds. Bertha says, Mary, this is my first year growing heirloom tomatoes. My friend Inga sent me last year. Thank you. I thank her to introduce me to your seeds. Awesome. Thank you. Colette says, I've got an okra variety from you and I save the seeds every year. Oh, I love to hear that. And Kevin says, we only grow one corn this year because of that. Exactly. Corn is what I consider a promiscuous plant. It is wind pollinated and it will cross-pollinate. So if you want to save your seeds, just plant one, unless you got a couple miles, and then you're good. Let's see. Tracy says, do you eat everything you grow, or is some just for seeds? Some is just for seeds. So yes, that is why I have multiple gardens in multiple areas of my property, so that some we eat and some we harvest. If you watch me on YouTube, I call that my kitchen garden. I do save seeds from that garden, but that one is primarily what we eat from. And then if you see me in what I called my jungle garden the other day, that is one of the newer gardens. That's where a lot of my seed saving happens. So, Southern Giant Mustard. Now, mustard greens are a Southern favorite. I was not a big mustard greens fan growing up. It's not something I ate or something that I was interested in a lot. Let's see, I'm missing some comments. That purple tomato caused a whole whirlwind for a lot of seed companies, and that's why I trust Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Yes, ma'am. We steered clear of that hot mess, and I'm glad for it. So let's see. I'm answering some comments here. Hey, Dawn, thanks for joining us. Tammy says, we harvested and ate some of the squash last night we got and bought from you. It was the custard type. Oh, that is a beauty. So Southern Giant Mustard, it's a heat tolerant green. It's not, you don't grow, you can, but you don't grow these for the seeds to make mustard. It's a mustard green. So this is 55 days from seed to harvest, but it will continue to produce for a while. You don't have to just 55 days pull up the plant and eat it. The cool thing about mustard greens is you can harvest the outer edge and they're delicious. And the leaves are spicy. These are a large ruffled greenery. Like I said, you can harvest it on the outside. You can take the whole plant, but that's really not the best use of this plant because it will continue to grow. And this again is a very old heirloom. I'm not, and when I say that, I'm not against hybrids. It's just not something I do. So this one is slower to bolt, which is why I'm sharing this one with you tonight. It's hot in some places. In Texas, here in East Texas, we're in Ben Wheeler, it was 99 degrees yesterday, and the feels like temp was 115. And I'm telling you right now, I bet you Buster Kitty, who is in the seed shop recovering, is probably appreciative. Had he known it was 100 degrees or almost 100 degrees outside, he would probably be pretty appreciative that he was inside. So, and if you missed that, he is doing spectacularly right now. So let's see, Tracy says, do you have a seed separator machine? Can't imagine you have time to collect all the seeds by hand. It is time consuming, and why I'm drinking coffee. And why I have help in the seed shop. All right, next on my list is tender sweet carrot. Do you struggle with carrots? I struggled with carrots for a while until I started doing something a little different. So if you are in the East Texas area, I will be teaching 3 classes in September. Monday, September 8th, I will be at the Kaufman County Master Gardeners at 10 a.m. talking about tips for seed starting in fall because it's hot here. On Thursday, September 11th, which is my birthday, I will be in Marshall, Texas, speaking with the Garden, I'm going to butcher this, and I'm really sorry, the Gardening Club, sorry. And I know them as the Friends of Marshall Pet Adoption Center because I love anybody that likes to grow gardens and likes to rescue animals. So those people get 2 thumbs up for me. So that will be Thursday, September 11th at 1 to 3. Super awesome. Kelly says happy early birthday, thank you. And then I'm going to be at the East Texas County Fair in Tyler, Texas on the 19th, which is a Friday, at 5:30 and 7:30. I'm teaching classes. So holy moly, lots of information. Joanne says you did it first, now you have no problem. Awesome, I love to hear that. So if you haven't already, I have a video about doing using cardboard with carrots, and that's one of many things I'm going to be discussing in Kaufman next month. So tender sweet carrot is a really good one. I wanted to share that with you. That is definitely something that you can plant in your fall garden. You can plant them in your spring garden. You can plant them in your fall garden. This is another heirloom carrot variety that it grows 9 to 10 inch tapered roots. Super awesome if you like carrots. Sandy just got hot in my corner of SoCal, first 100-degree day. I am shocked. We have not hit 100 degrees yet, which is pretty awesome. So tender sweet carrot, another good one for fall. I have 2 more left to share with you. The first one is a new arrival for this year, and it's kind of a funny one. The seeds are really odd shaped, which is kind of fun. And it's not something that you are going to find in the store. I'm almost positive. I can't be certain about that, but I'm almost positive. This is called salad burnet. This is a perennial in zones 4 to 8, but it can be grown as an annual. So kind of fun. This will grow from March through the first snowfall. Hello, that is an amazing amount of food if you continue to harvest. Have fun, Inga. Amber says, do you find any plants that come back without planting new seeds? Oh, tons. So there's an annual, which you sow the seeds once and one and done, it's good. Then you have a perennial, which will come back every year, the same exact plant. Okay, like lemon balm. You plant lemon balm one time, you might be able to kill it, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's called a perennial, where the same plant might die off in the wintertime, but then it comes back the same plant. Then you have a biennial, which is like Swiss chard, where it can grow 2 years, maybe 3 years, the same plant as well. Now, then you have self-seeding annuals. And I've had customers confuse a perennial and a self-seeding annual. Peggy says, love salad burnet, tastes like cucumbers. That is what attracted me to it, because I love cucumbers. So cilantro, for example, drops seeds, regrows. It's a new plant from new seeds. Then you have borage, same thing, new plants from dropped seeds. Matt's wild cherry, Everglades, yep, you plant it once and it comes back every year. Malabar spinach, self-seeding annual. So some varieties will sow easier by themselves than others. Zinnia is another one that will just continue to grow. But then there's things like the bunching onions that's a perennial that will continue to grow, and it just keeps bunching and you have to pull it apart and replant it. Chives are another one. So there's definitely a lot that you can grow. So salad burnet is on my list because it's super fun. Like, you know, it's not only is it, sorry, I forgot to show the link. Not only is it yummy, but it is a perennial, so you can, depending on your region that is, so you can grow it for multiple years. And who doesn't like a green that tastes like a cucumber? I love cucumbers, so I love this one. All right, last on my list is white egg turnip. I love turnips, and I've talked about turnips before. Not everybody likes turnips, and not everybody has eaten turnips, which surprised me. You can eat turnips, the greens, just like you would mustard greens. And you can eat the roots very similar to, oh, Christina says, love that color on you. These shirts are now on sale again. This is the Kelly Green Leaf logo shirt. I just finally got this back in stock. Thanks, Christina. Colette says I actually don't deadhead my petunias and they drop seeds and they come back here. There you go. So I love turnips because it's a double duty crop. You can eat the greens, you can eat the root, and both are delicious. I don't eat either of them raw because Christina says, yes, take my money. So the leaves of the turnip, very similar to a radish, are a little on the spiky side. So I don't eat these raw. I cook these. And the roots, I just chop it up like I would a beet or a potato or a radish, and I put it in stir fry usually. You can roast them. You can put them in a stew similar to what you would put like a potato instead. They are absolutely delicious. Let's see, Kelly says, I think I need to buy these seeds. There's a lot I have never tried. There's a ton of varieties. All of these seeds, by the way, for those of you who just joined me, I do a giveaway every Wednesday with all the seeds that I'm discussing with you. All of these go to one lucky winner. If you're in the US or Canada and you comment on the video and you haven't won recently, you are automatically entered. Nancy says if you add root to the greens, it makes it more flavorful. Well, very good to know. I appreciate it. So Thursday night live chats on YouTube have been rescheduled to Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on my YouTube channel. I will still stay here on Facebook every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And since Facebook is deleting my videos after 30 days, I will upload these to YouTube so you can watch them at a later time. Alrighty, everybody. That is it for me. We are back to, I personally am back to an extra long schedule at Mary's Heirloom Seed. So am I the only one who likes the sound of seed shaking in the envelopes? I know my cats do. They usually come running, but they're zonked out on the couch right now after charging all day long. Alrighty, everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one lucky winner from tonight's live chat. In the comments, I've shared links to all of these varieties if you want to purchase them, and I've also shared a link to my August seed sale. This will go to August 30th. I also added a couple of soil amendments for you if you're interested in adding some nutrients to your soil. I hope that helps you. Alrighty, everybody. That's it for me. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I will actually answer your email. Thanks for joining me, and happy planting.